A very good morning to you all, and welcome at this conference. I'm very glad to see that there are more than the 10 people who were initially registered at the beginning of the week. Jane was particularly worried about it, and I must say so was I. But then when 2 or 3 get together, the Lord's presence is with them, and if we pursue His purposes and the church and the growth of the church, He is pleased to bless us, no matter how many. But welcome, and also thanks to Amas for the facilities. It's wonderful to share in these great facilities that the Lord has given you. I would encourage you, please, Glenn has a book table there at the back, and I would encourage you to make use of the opportunity to get some good reading literature, and they do have a book ministry, and if there are any books that you would like to order, you could do that through him as well. The toilets are just down the passage here, the ladies and the gents, so if you need to go there, please down the passage and to the left. And with that, we come to what we are actually here for today, and that is to look at this aspect of planting churches, multicultural church planting. And what are the principles that we are to employ in multicultural English ministries? Now, we left English out of the title of the conference for a purpose. We didn't want to exclude any Afrikaans-speaking people from the conference, because this isn't just a job for Englishmen, you know. Very roinek, you know what I think it's a job that all of us need to tackle at this time and point that we are in the history of our country. Times are changing. I think we all know that. Culturally, linguistically, things are changing in Africa, things are changing in South Africa. And there is this move towards a lingua franca, towards this common language, and this is a good thing for the gospel. In the early days of Christ, Koine Greek became the common language, a language that everybody could understand. And I think as English grows as the common language in our country, the church has to keep track. One of my problems as a Christian after my conversion at a fairly late stage in life, and having come to reformed principles of religion as what I thought the Bible to teach, I could find no churches. And I grew up in the days of the old days, you know, of apartheid, and apartheid also went to English and Afrikaans, you know. That's there was the division on language as well as on color, and I was astonished to find that there was no English medium Reformed churches in Pretoria. And that's one of the reasons why I went overseas to study, to be taught Reformed theology in my mother tongue. And the time has come, whether we like it or not, brothers and sisters, the time has come for change. There is the time for culturally seclusive kinds of churches, where I am in my group and you are in your group, and we just carry on in our comfort zones. Those days are passing. And it's up to the church. Griffel read out of Psalm 67. If ever there was a mission psalm, it's that one. Let the peoples, I noticed the plural, let the peoples be glad. And for us to be caught in our comfort zones, our language zones, our cultural zones, is unhealthy. And this is something that has to penetrate into the Reformed churches of South Africa. English ministry, a multicultural ministry. The cross-culture church, I noticed in Thomas's his bio. That's what we need to be looking at. And so, methodology, of course, once you I think in principle, we all agree on that. We are here for the same reason, because I sincerely hope that this is a perspective that weighs heavily on the hearts of each one of us. But then, of course, the question arises as to, well, how are we going to do it? You've got your way, I've got my way, and then we start finding all kinds of reasons to go our different ways. Well, you go your way, you've got your methodology, I've got my methodology, and differences are good. If there weren't differences, we would simply perpetuate our own tradition and our own way of doing things. And so we've got two speakers today who approach the matter perhaps from a different point of view. Thomas is going to give us the what we, for want of a better word, an Afrikaans perspective. How are we, and I look forward to hearing from him, how are we going to be catalysts, us as dominees, from within, in our own denomination, how are we going to be catalysts for change, and how are we going to go about this? And I look forward to hearing from you, Thomas. And then Simon is going to give the outsiders, I see there's the Gentile perspective. I would say maybe the outsider's perspective. One, like me, who has come from the outside, and one of the advantages, of course, coming from the outside is to see all of the traditions and the wrong way of doing things. You know, you question why do you do it like this? No, well, we've always done it like this, and that is just, it's not particularly a South African Reformed perspective. It's a worldwide thing. We do it like this because we've always done it like this, and I do think the time has come. And so I look forward to the methodology. There are differences between Simon and Thomas, and I would encourage you to listen for those. And then in the end, we hope to have some edifying discussion about this. And so there will be question time later on, after the speakers have spoken, between 11 and 12 o'clock. But we'll listen to Thomas now. I think you all know the minister at GK Randburg, a man who pursued a BCom initially and was burdened by the Lord to enter the ministry. He then served overseas in London and then in Vryheid. It's a beautiful little church that. I don't know why on earth he had to come back to the city, but anyway. Man, my wife and I rode past the church and we thought, shucks, why couldn't we work here? Alvana really had it good in the Vryheid. So anyway, and he then came to Randburg as a co-pastor. And I actually know more about him through my children and his love for the gospel on church camps, and the zeal that he shared with my kids, 2 English kids in the midst of a boerekamp, and they really grew to love him. And when he was called to Rietvlei, they came to me and they said, "Dad, this is the man." I said, "Oh, okay." Well, he turned that down. But Thomas, I look forward to hearing what you say, and may the Lord bless you in